What's going on, Danglers? Welcome back to another episode of Quick Shifts, where we bring you everything that you may have missed in the NHL last night. Now, usually I like to talk about other teams in these, but after a 5-4 overtime loss to the Penguins on Monday and then a 3-1 loss to the Sharks last night, the Philadelphia Flyers have lost 9 fucking games in a row. Their worst slump since, I don't know, at least a decade.
He sends it all the way down. That becomes icing. Well, you can.
And the worst part about it is that this shit dick team is beyond pathetic to watch. I mean, I'd rather be baking Christmas cookies or putting together a 1,000-piece puzzle. Literally anything at all besides watching the Philadelphia Flyers play hockey. Because as soon as that first puck is dropped, you know that these fucking losers are going to lose that game. Hell, I even went as far as to shave my mustache last night. A mustache that I've grown very fond of, actually. Just to try to change any mojo for this team. Seems like they haven't won in about 6 weeks. That's about how long I've had my mustache for. Thought I'd give it a trim, change it up a little bit. Maybe they get a win. No, fuck that. They go out and they play their most pathetic game yet. 3-1 to the Sharks, and they just quit on everybody out there. The Philadelphia Flyers, they don't care about you. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about fucking dick right now, and they're not worth your time. Oh, but you guys have a 1 p.m. game against the Bruins set up on Saturday? Yeah, sorry. I'd rather not commit suicide this weekend. And yes, obviously there's plenty of blame to go all around with this team right now. The Flyers goalies are about as inconsistent as internet connection at HQ. Scoring depth out of the top line is non-existent. The young defensemen are making mistake after mistake, but the two that need their heads on the chopping block right now are obviously Dave Hakstol and Ron Hakstol. Now, firing Hakstol is pretty obvious. Even if you were blind watching that game last night, you'd still hear the entire crowd at the Wells Fargo Center. This is a home game chanting, "Fire Hakstol." When you have Jori Lehtera on your fucking second power play unit, what the hell are you doing, bud? What are you doing? This team has clearly given up on the guy. They do not respond to him anymore. We're in year 3 of Dave Hakstol's tenure here in Philadelphia, and Claude Giroux is still the one calling for closed-door meetings after losing. This guy has no control over the locker room. He has no control over the lineup. He has absolutely nothing. He's a fucking joke. Get him out of here. I know that it's close to the holiday season. You never want to see a guy lose his job, especially around this time, but fuck Dave Hakstol. Obviously, things get a little bit dicier when we start talking about Ron Hakstol, just because Flyers fans love Hexy. Flyers fans look at Ron Hakstol the way that Sixers fans look at Sam Hinkie, the way that Eagles fans are currently looking at Howie Roseman. And yeah, obviously he shouldn't get shit-canned right now. His leash should be exponentially longer than Hakstol's. But the issue with Hakstol right now is what is the Flyers' identity? What are they doing right now? Are they rebuilding? Are they not rebuilding? If you guys were rebuilding, then you probably should have traded Wayne Simmons last year when his value was at its peak instead of waiting until this year when he's not doing dick. You know, I really don't think that the Flyers are rebuilding, though, and that's the issue because they're playing like a team who is. They're playing like a team who's tanking for Dahlen right now. And don't even try to give me that, oh, but it's a slow rebuild kind of bullshit, because that's been going on since 2011 when Richards and Carter got shipped out of town. We're now 6 years past Carter and Richards, and this team has only gotten worse by the year. I know that there are a bunch of young kids in the lineup, and I know that there are still a bunch of young kids who are still in the pipeline waiting to get called up. But if you're in a rebuild, tell us that you're in a rebuild. Don't send Ron Hakstol out there to the fucking press after losing your 9th straight game, still saying that he thinks that this is a playoff team. And you know, I guess that's just my biggest issue with the Flyers right now. They know that they're stuck in this cycle of mediocrity, and they just don't give a shit enough to do anything about it. The longer that Jori Lehtera stays on the second power play unit, the less that the Flyers care about you. The longer that Dave Hakstol isn't fired, the less that the Flyers care about you. And if the Flyers don't care about you, then why the hell do we care about them? We got plenty more going on in this city right now. The Eagles are 10-1. The Sixers are on the come-up. Why do we care about the Flyers? It's because we're loyal to a fault. And this organization takes advantage of that. They know that they can shit all over our face and we're still going to turn on the stream to watch the game, or we're still going to buy tickets to go to the game. Fuck that. Fuck this team. They don't care about you. We shouldn't care about them anymore until a change is made. And that's going to do it for today's shift. Time to dump and change.
It's going to be Facebook messaging me after this one.
Smells like burning.